In this video, we will create a basic web service with openapi, previously known as Swagger. If you don't know what Swagger is, it helps you design, document, discover, and test. We will write the same service with four most popular programming languages. First one is Python. Then we will write the same thing in CSharp. Then with Java, and lastly, we will write it with NodeJs. Okay, let's start with Python. It's an interpreted general purpose language. First, we need to install FastAPi. There are other ways, but we will use the fastest method, FastAPi, and we need to install Uvicorn to serve our FastAPi service as my integrated development environment because it can adapt to different programming languages easily. Okay, here we are using a get method to get information from server, and it will be formatted as JSON. Our data will be an array of two stock objects. Okay, let's try it. And okay, this is the root, and it seems it's working. Okay, this is also working, but one thing we didn't do is we just returned a string. Let's create new objects and then serialize it. Let's create a stock object, and I want to return two objects and let Python serialize it to JSON string. Okay, it's also working. And Swagger is also working. Okay, let's continue with the CSharp. First, we will see how we set up our environment. We need to install also .NET SDK. Just run it after you download it. Now I will create a new web API project which will give me a template and a running template. It's returning weather forecast. Now we can change it a little bit, create a new controller. It's pretty straightforward, and it will directly run. Okay, we completed it, and it should run without any error. Okay, it's running. Move on to Java, and we have some extensions to install. Now we finished the installation, and we can start with Spring Initializer. I will just add Spring Web dependency. I'm creating a new stock object, a new class. Now we can create a new controller, a new REST controller, and we are using our get to get our stocks. We should return an array of stock objects. Then we will enable Swagger, our openapi. You need to add these dependencies to our POM file, and after we build our project, it should run perfectly. Okay, now we can continue to Node.js. I will install MVS, Node Version Selector, which allows you to change between node versions, and I'm using Choco to install MVS. Okay, I'm getting an error because it's not MVS is not in path variable, so I need to restart PowerShell, and it's now working. Okay, MVS add LTS command adds long-term support version of Node. Then in my folder, Node folder, I run npm init. Then we will install Express. Then we created a new server.js file and added our endpoint stocks. Now we need to create a new script in our package.json file. There are built-in scripts, and we will add a new one called start. Now when we run the start npm start, it should be working, and it's working. Now we need to install Swagger-ui. And configure Swagger-ui to work. And if I run it again, it should be working. We forgot the Swagger.json. Let's edit. Run again. And it's working.